The Sheffield Wind project, this is one of the systems up in Lowell that we designed for that project. So the systems are sort of designed to fit in with the topography on kind of sloping mountain sites, and then meet all 5 of these criteria that the state requires to issue a stormwater permit. So these really deal with what we call the operational phase. Once the project has been constructed and is operating, and the other permit, the construction stormwater permit, really deals with the open earth when the grading is going on and managing that water to prevent sediment from getting off site.
Is it safe to say that the water quality could possibly change?
What we found, and actually this slide over here, is from Lowell, the Green Mountain Power Project, where we've done monitoring of all the streams that surround the project. So this is basically a ridge line, and there are streams that drain to the west towards the Missisquoi, streams that drain to the east towards the Black River. And so we've done monitoring of the aquatic biota, essentially the insects that are in the stream, starting in 2010, before the project was constructed. We had 2 years of construction phase monitoring, and then we had 3 years so far since the project was done. And what we do is we collect samples of the insects in the bed of the stream, and then there's a taxonomist goes through and counts every bug, hundreds of them, species, and we use these metrics that the state of Vermont has developed to look at the types of bugs, the number of bugs, whether they're indicators of impacts from sediment or toxicity or other stresses. And what we found is that there's obviously variability from stream to stream and from year to year, but that the project in Lowell, which is very similar in terms of the types of terrain, the types of stormwater practices that would be used, has not had any negative impact on the streams. They're still meeting the standards.
It's at least in the macro invertebrate population. How about pollutants that are used for impervious indemnification of the roads?
Well,
have those been tested?
I'm not sure exactly what you mean. I mean, there's not...
Well, are there surface treatments placed on the roads to prevent erosion other than compression?
No, it's really just mechanical. They compact the road.
So really is asphalt?
No, it's all their gravel roads. But some of the metrics are geared towards looking at toxicity, like the EPT is basically caddisflies, stoneflies, bayflies. They're very water quality sensitive. So if you have a stream like, we've had situations in Vermont, not related to wind projects, but I think it was in Randolph where there was a chlorine spill that in a river, and that will...
So there's surrogate markers.
Right, exactly. And so, when we look at the EPT, that's in this sort of lower right quadrant, and, none of the streams have shown any impact from toxicity, which is not surprising because there really aren't any toxics that could be released.
Where are these monitoring stations in relation to
The monitoring stations are within each of the watersheds, and in some cases they're a considerable distance downstream of the project, and they were located that way because of where the streams are coalescing, if you will, meaning we wanted to be far enough downstream so that all of the runoff from all the turbines would have been measured. So in some cases they're not that far away, in some cases they're quite a ways away, but it's just a matter of making sure that all the tributary streams were coalescing, if you will, to get to a point where we could effectively monitor.
So when you say not so far away and farther away, like is it a mile? Is it a quarter mile?
So these bars, so this long bar is a mile.
Okay.
So, the McCleary Brook is less than a mile. Rogers Branch is a couple miles downstream. But it just has to do with the natural configuration of the streams and how the branches of the streams come together. And those monitoring stations were located, and A&R scientists were involved in approving the particular locations to make sure that they were representative of all the watersheds.